day 2 of my new vlog, and that's called Pajama Talk or PJ Talk. Inspiration or motivation in the early mornings before dawn's early light. And today I'm talking about waiting for the sunrise. Now I've done this, it's already going on 6 o'clock, and I've been doing this for 2 hours now. I keep making videos and they're too long. So I decided to just write me out an outline so that I stick to the subject, because y'all know I'm a blabbermouth and I ramble. So here we go, waiting for the sunrise. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning is what I do because I like to write. And I get inspired early in the morning. There's something special about the first mornings, the hours. I love being up when the day is new, when a lot of the world is still asleep. One of my favorite things, especially in the spring and the summer, is to wake up and hear, or not wake up, but to hear the birds as they wake up. And what wakes them up? The first rays of sun, the light that touches the sky. It wakes them up and they start to singing. I think that's one of the most glorious things, to hear the birds sing, because the light has touched the sky and they know that they can get up and fly and have a new adventure for the day. There are many nights, however, that taunt me, that rob me of rest and of sleep. And there's a reason for that. I have what I call fear of the night. It usually afflicts people that have had a bad experience that happened at night or in the dark. And it follows us in life, and sometimes it's accompanied by night terrors and bad dreams. I remember nights as a child when I would sit in the hallway of my home in Violet, Louisiana, and cry, because I was so afraid, and beg God, begging to please let the morning come. Of course, morning wasn't going to come just because I asked for it, and I had to wait through the night for the light of day. And then that's when I started to feel better, and that's when I felt like I could go to sleep. That's when it was time to wake up. So you see my dilemma. But today, I'm here to tell you that just because I grew up and became an adult, it didn't stop. It kept on going. I didn't sit in the hallway crying, and I didn't beg God to let the morning come. Well, not all the time. I still do it. I still did it, and I still do it today too, because I'm not saying that I'm totally over it, but I do not feel it the way I did before. But when I was an adult and I was still feeling this way, I realized that this was a problem and I needed therapy to help me get over it. So I went to a therapist, and that's when I began to uncover the things that had happened to make me so afraid of the dark. You know, they say there are no monsters. And as a child, you want to believe that there are no monsters. As an adult, you want to believe, and you're kind of forced to believe, that there aren't any monsters, because you're told that it's silly, it's nonsense, you're an adult now, grow up, get with the program, there are no monsters. But I'm here to tell you, I believe in monsters because I know they're there. I've experienced them, I've seen them, I believe in them. They come in the feelings and emotions that inflict the horrible hauntings of memories from the past that evoke such hurt and such a throbbing pain and a fear that simply does not want to go away. You can't just snap your fingers and make it go. You can choose to sit in the dark and tremble, praying for the light of day to come, or you can make a decision to make your own light. Make your own light and chase the monsters away. How do you do this? Well, it comes when you stop allowing the things of your past into your heart, into your mind, into your recollection. Oh, I ain't no dummy. I know you can never chase away the memories. They're there forever. They're in your head. They're in your intellect. Unless, of course, you can figure out a way to have selective amnesia. Then, like the magic pill that makes us happy all the time, everything's right with the world, peachy keen, everything's roses, then everything's just fine. We're all happy. And we're free of the hurt and pain and fear and sleeplessness that night terrors and the fear of the night brings to us. But in many ways, selective amnesia is what keeps us locked up and locked away from reality. And it keeps us in a hole of depression that gives us the fear of the night in the first place. So, until we learn to face the monsters and the things that consume us and make us afraid of the night, until we face the monsters and take away the power that they have over us, we're not going to be free. So, we better look like realizing that it's time to take over and take charge and let those monsters know that they're not going to do this to us anymore and that we're not going to let them put so much fear into us. And then we can be free. Free like the birds that fill the trees at night, that curl up into feathered balls and sleep with peaceful assurance, knowing that they are watched over. And when the morning comes, they can sing and greet its brightness and fly away on its beams of golden glory. It's never easy to face a monster. Some people are monsters and you're scared to face them. Some things are monsters and you're scared to face them. We all have fears. We all have monsters. We all have our own beast that we're needing to confront, that we need to convince, that we are determined of dispelling the fear that they give us, that we are capable of conquering them. And we need to put those monsters away. Pull them out from under the bed, pull them out from in the closet, pull them out from the shadows, and give them their eviction notice. Face them. Let them know you know they're there. Let them know you're not going to let them paralyze you with fear anymore and keep you frozen in time and convinced that the memory that unlocks our soul and keeps us in terror and horror over and over again has to stop and will stop, because we will make it so. Another bird. The birds from the 60s, they sang a song called "To Every Season There Is a Time and a Purpose Under Heaven." It was, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. It was a time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to reap. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to laugh and a time to weep. The seeds of faith and torment, not faith, fear and torment were planted in us years ago. We reap them over and over again by reliving the horrors of what we went through. But the time comes when we have to be like David, the giant killer, the dragon slayer, the monster killer, and pick up a few stones, some rocks to give us a firm foundation, courage, confidence in ourselves, knowing that we are not scared, helpless children anymore. We are not afflicted. We are not powerless. But we are strong, we are brave, and we have the ability to slay the dragons and kill the monsters and drive them away that try to contain us and keep us from moving on to the morning and flying free in the light. Fear is a terrible thing. It's like a monster that haunts us and buries us in the darkness. It makes us tremble and quake. But often the fear is but a symptom of an affliction that we suffered many years ago, or perhaps just last week. And until we shake it off and refuse to allow it to keep us bound and imprisoned by its overwhelming power over us, we will remain under its control. And it will make us ill. It makes us sick. It keeps us down and depressed. A lot of time fear breeds fear, and many nights we tremble and cry and don't even know why we're afraid. That's when it's time to face the dragon, face the monsters that hide in our closets, under our bed, in the darkness, in the shadows. Make them come out, pull them out, pull them out, pull them out, and tell them they're not going to haunt us anymore. They're not going to keep us locked up and bound by such uncertainties that we find ourselves in such a state that we're looking for the Xanax and the Valium to calm us down, or the paper bags to breathe into to ward off the hyperventilating bouts of overwhelming fear. God never intended for us to be bound by this kind of fear. He just never did. And He has made a way to set us free. And you can find it, the way to freedom, if you open your mind, open your eyes, and start to feel the power that He has given you. It doesn't come from there. It doesn't come from there. It comes from here. So go ahead and apply it. One of my favorite scriptures, weeping may last but for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Being a victim of night terrors and afflicted with the fear of the night, I learned real early in my Christian life to grab hold of this scripture and recite it, pray it, remind God of its promise to me, and to receive peace because of it. It works, never failed me. And it won't fail you either. And like the birds that sing at the first light that hits the sky in the morning of a bright new day, you can spread your wings and fly. Fly away from the fear. Fly away from the torment. Fly away from the anxiety, the stress. And most of all, you can fly into the light and explore the wonders, the marvelous things that He has given to us. You can do it. Start today.